The dirt on his grave hadn't settled when I unlocked the door and found them waiting. His brother, Grant, his ex-wife, Elise, suitcases in hand like they owned the place. Elise held up a stack of papers, the ink still smelling fresh. The house, the money, it's ours now. Her smirk was sharp, practiced. Grant dropped his bags with a thud, his eyes crawling across the living room as if he were already redecorating. I didn't flinch. I didn't argue. I smiled, because what they didn't know, what they could never imagine, was that this moment had been written into my plan months ago. Before the funeral, I remember the first time I met Elise. She shook my hand with the kind of grip that hurts just enough to remind you she likes control. My husband, Daniel, still had that stupid, soft look in his eyes when he introduced us. She was the ghost of his past, but I felt the way she lingered too close, the way her laughter cut into private places. And Grant, his brother, always the shadow in the room, always waiting for scraps of attention, of money, of anything that wasn't his. I thought family meant loyalty. I thought marriage meant safety. I was wrong. The first crack. It started with Daniel's phone left on the nightstand. A message, one word, soon, from Elise. I didn't confront him, not then. I became quieter, sharper. I learned to listen in silences, to follow routines, to map their movements. Soon, the pattern revealed itself. Missed dinners, hushed calls, his sudden generosity to Grant. Money drained in quiet withdrawals. The truth wasn't a single revelation. It was a slow bleed. But once I saw it, I couldn't unsee. My shift. They expected me to break, to scream, to beg. Instead, I learned patience. I visited a lawyer before I visited my husband in the hospital. Terminal cancer had carved him down to bone, but betrayal had already hollowed me out. The lawyer helped me set the stage. Trusts, accounts, ironclad clauses. Quietly filed, signed while he was drugged and docile. Every dollar funneled into places Elise and Grant would never touch. The official will remained, just altered enough to look tempting for desperate hands. I let them think they were clever. I wanted them greedy. His death. Daniel's last breath was not dramatic. It was wet, shallow, and pitiful. He never apologized. He never even looked me in the eye. I kissed his forehead, cold already, and whispered, "Thank you for making this so easy." Present, the game begins. So when Elise shoved that forged will in my face, I recognized the signature instantly, a sloppy imitation. She thought she was playing chess. She didn't see I was already playing the end game. I poured them wine that night, sat across from them at my own dining table, listening to their plans. Elise wanted to gut the house, turn it into something modern. Grant mumbled about cars, travel, women. I nodded, smiled, refilled their glasses. They never noticed the small black box blinking beneath the table. A recorder. Every word captured. The trap tightens. Over the next weeks, I let them believe they'd won. I moved out quietly, mourning, while they settled in. The neighbors watched Elise sunbathing by the pool, Grant stumbling drunk at noon. And the bank statements? They never checked the details. Every inheritance dollar they thought they touched was bait. A fund set up in Daniel's name, traceable, taxable, monitored. I waited until they were comfortable, until their arrogance ripened. The confrontation. It came on a Tuesday morning. They were mid-breakfast when the knock at the door shook the house. Police, 2 officers, a warrant in hand. Forgery, fraud, conspiracy. Their inheritance suddenly looked less like victory and more like evidence. Elise's face drained of color. Grant tried to argue, his voice cracking, desperate. But the officers already had the recordings, the statements, the financial trail, All of it tied to them. All of it designed by me. Their fall. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed, watching them being led away. Elise's perfect hair stuck to her sweating face as she hissed, "You did this." I leaned in close enough for her alone to hear. "No, you did this to yourself." Grant didn't look back. He never had the spine. Aftermath. The house is quiet again. The curtains breathe with the wind. The trust my lawyer built ensures I'll live comfortably, privately, untouched. The money they thought they stole will fund scholarships in Daniel's name, his final act of penance, whether he wanted it or not. Elise and Grant, facing charges, ruined reputations, broke. And me? I sleep without dreams. Because revenge isn't about rage, it's about precision. They thought they could erase me, but I was never the victim. I was the executioner, waiting for the right moment. And when it came, I smiled, just like I did the day they dragged in their suitcases.